Cade Cunningham is proving to be a genuine NBA MVP contender. We'll talk about his crazy play in the preseason so far and the Pistons' second game against the Bucks in just a moment. Welcome back to the Pistons Jack YouTube channel. If you haven't already, could you please hit that subscribe button, drop a like below. We're going to talk about Cade Cunningham's incredible preseason game against the Bucks today, as well as some of the other players and their performances. So please drop below any comments on your thoughts from the game. But before we get to it and talk about Cade, the Pistons did end up losing to the Bucks 111-117, but none of these preseason results matter. It's nice to win a game here and there, but the main things you're looking for are slivers of improvement or rotations. You're not really taking into account the entire game because honestly, you end up a lot of these second halves with two-way guys playing, training camp guys playing, and that was certainly the case tonight. The Pistons were without Jaden Ivey and Tobias Harris, who were both rested. I believe Karis LeVert was rested as well. I kind of forgot about him until midway through, and Jalen Duren missed his second game with hamstring tightness, but nothing to be concerned about at all. But the biggest story of this game was Cade Cunningham once again only playing one half of basketball and looking like an elite scorer. He had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals in only 18 minutes of action. Fresh, or what should I say, only 2 days later after scoring 20 points and I think 18 minutes in Memphis in a half. He looks ready to go. And in previous preseasons, Cade, I feel like, has warmed up. He's had some inefficient nights shooting the ball and definitely has not been aggressive, whereas he looks ready to go. He looks stronger, and his shot and the way he's getting to the rim, his strength, I've never seen him look like this. And I've watched pretty much all of Cade's games. He is moving different. I know that's a saying that gets thrown around a lot, but he is genuinely moving different. He, like I said, the strength on drives in transition, just bodying people, using his shoulders. He's always had those wide shoulders, and he has added muscle over the past couple of seasons, but more so than ever, he's getting into the paint, wreaking havoc. 8 free throws tonight, starting to get respect there. I know this is preseason, I do, but it's just, I've never seen Cade score the ball like this. Like, the way he's doing it is really standing out, and if you've watched his whole career, you would definitely be aligned with me on this. Now, this is preseason. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but if this is the Cade we're going to see, if this type of Cade Cunningham who is going to average near 30 points, like, he's put up 46 points in 37 or 36 minutes of preseason action. Like, he is aggressive. He's always going to get his assists. He's an elite playmaker, especially if he can dial down the turnovers, which he has done so far. But man, I've always seen Cade as like a 24, 25 point per game scorer. Clearly proved me wrong last year. And the way he is moving right now, he might be edging closer to 30 than 25 for the season. And that is the type of jump that puts you genuinely in the MVP conversation, especially obviously if your team has a success and wins near 50 games, which is what I predict for this team. So Cade, please let me know your thoughts in the comments, everyone watching, and Cade if you are. But I just want to, like, for me, like I said, it's the aggressiveness, it's the efficiency he's coming out with, and the way he's getting to these shots and how comfortable he looks. Like, he looks like he's playing on, like, in slow-mo, which is something you say about someone like Luka Doncic, LeBron James, when they're just able to be so comfortable and navigate their way around on the floor. But Cade, I don't think anyone expected him to look like this in preseason. I truly don't. And yes, it's preseason, but all we can go off is what we've seen. And in the 36 minutes he's played, he has looked absolutely incredible. Other players I want to highlight, let's talk about the 9 to 5 crew of Ron Holland and Ausar Thompson. So they both got the start tonight. Obviously Ausar, but Ron started at power forward for Tobias. And I want to start with Ausar. Ausar Thompson is ultra aggressiveness. You're probably going to hear me say the word aggressive a lot this season, and especially about this game. You're used to Ausar being aggressive on defense, and he was. I think he had a pair of blocks, some steals, and created some turnovers, which won't even be on the box score. But we know he does that. We know he's one of the best on-ball perimeter defenders in the NBA. Watching him tonight grab and go, get to the free throw line, 10 free throw attempts, watch him dribble downhill. Every time he had AJ Green on him, he took him to the basket and tried to back him down or get some free throws. And whilst he only hit 5 of 10 free throws, and you want to see him finish a bit better around the rim, that aggressiveness is going to hold him in great stead. That is the type of Ausar for this team, as currently constructed, to take a leap into like the top 3, top 4. They need scoring from Ivy and other players, of course, but this is the Ausar on offense we need. We need him attacking downhill, getting out in transition at all costs. Like, and that's something I love from Cade as well. Cade is, whilst people don't associate Cade with being like this fast-paced player, he is looking to run every opportunity in transition. And obviously he has Ausar and he has someone like Ron on the wings flanking him. Like, this team, I think, are well aware that with some of their half-court deficiencies on offense that are probably, they had last season, are probably going to be a bit of a theme this year. They need to get out and run and score quickly in transition. And Ausar was doing that with the ball in his hands. We see him do it without the ball in his hands, getting out in transition for lobs and that kind of thing. But that aggressiveness is going to hold him in good stead. Now, I do want to see him improve his ball handling. He got exposed a little bit. He had no turnovers, so I'm not going to get on him too hard, but he's had to pick up his dribble a fair bit when, I think it was Ryan Rollins was guarding him. Like, he would force Ausar to pick up his dribble. You can tell Asar's not as confident with his left hand and going left. And then he had some finishes you'd like to see him make. In fairness, some of them were with his left offhand, but you want to see him improve as a finisher around the rim because he had 11 points tonight in 20 minutes, 10 free throw attempts, and 7 field goals. Like, that's tonight, I think, like, the better version of Ausar, the more efficient finishing and hitting a few more free throws. Like, that's a 16-point night for him. And if he's scoring 15 plus, I think at this stage of his career, he's tracking in a very good direction. And like I said, I don't have too much to add on defense. I did notice the Pistons overall, and Ausar was kind of the person closing out, kind of got killed in the corners from 3 tonight. Now, the Bucks jack up a lot of threes. They have good three-point shooters like Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green, Bobby Portis. They kind of killed the Pistons in the corners from deep, but it didn't hurt Detroit too much. But it's something to keep an eye on. I noticed Ausar was the one late to close out a few times. Like I said, not sure if that's fully on Ausar or it's the scheme the Pistons are running. I feel like they're running a zone a little bit here and there, which left some of the corners open. But yeah. And then on to Ron. I thought Ron came out, hits his first 3 of the night, wide open, first bucket for the Pistons. I want to see him take some more. He only got up 3 tonight, but I thought he could have got up a couple more. It seems like he's only taking the wide open ones, and I'm not sure if that's a directive from the coaching staff or he's more trying to be really selective with his shots and he's not taking any where someone's closing out. But I thought he could have got up a few more. But he finishes 3 of 6. And same with Ausar, like him, I think he got like a deflection in defensive transition and that resulted in him getting a dunk down the other end. Like 22 minutes tonight, 6 shots, 7 points, 3 assists, only the 1 turnover. 0 of 2 from the line. You want to see him knock down his free throws because he's proven he's a good free throw shooter, but really enjoyed his game. And I think it's a really solid base to build on, especially after I think he had 9 or 10 last game. So the 3-point shot seems to be real. It feels like it's going to be a steady part of his offense this season, and you should expect him to make one a game, and he's probably going to get up a couple depending on the minutes. The other couple of players I want to talk about that stood out to me, quickly just shout out to Isaiah Stewart, knocked down a 3, had a nice block. I think he rushed it a few times around the basket in the paint, but overall I thought solid game, only 16 minutes. So, take what you want from that. But good to see him shooting threes. Only the 1 attempt and made it. Maybe get another one up there. Stu, but we love to see it. Last couple, I want to shout out Chaz Lanier and Bobby Klintman. I thought Chaz, he's been one of the more impressive, unexpected players for me in preseason. At Summer League, I wasn't disappointed, but I thought he struggled a little bit to be involved in the offense and find his spots. Whereas playing alongside some of the more, the Pistons' better players, clearly, I feel like he's finding his spots. He finished 2 of 7 from 3 tonight, but he was 2 of 2. Just took a few rushed ones towards the end of this game when it was pretty much just him out there with the two-way guys and some training camp guys. So, but I think he's been impressive overall. Knocked down a couple of threes in each. He's got a bit more athleticism than I thought. And then I want to shout out Bobby Klintman. Bobby's probably struggled, especially at Summer League. I know he didn't impress a lot of fans. It looked like he took a step backwards. But I thought tonight he came in immediately, had like 8 points straight away. He had 6 boards. Love to see him crashing the rebounds, 2 assists. But he came in, knocked down a pair of threes, and then had a putback dunk in that second quarter. So shout out to Bobby. That's kind of it from me. We could talk about a few other players, but I think that's like the crux of it. I think overall, obviously the Pistons still have 2 more preseason games. Cade did. I don't know if he was ever going to play in the second half because it didn't really seem like he needed to, but there was some reported back tightness, so I wouldn't be surprised if Cade's now done for the preseason. While selfishly I would love to watch him next week in those games, I'm kind of at the point where it's like he doesn't need to show much more, to be honest. I think next game you will see Jaden Ivey play, you will see Karis LeVert play. Not sure about Tobias, they might just rest up the Unk, but we shall see. That's it. That's all I've got for today's show, guys. Let me know your thoughts, immediate reactions to the game and preseason so far. But appreciate you all watching, and as always, go Pistons.